So I made these comments to the channel recently, and I was looking at it like it's just like this shit is really dynamic. You know the word salient is a bulge or a push forward. Like when you push forward, you create a salient. It's like the opposite of alienated. So the Nazis are salienating the word by calling themselves progressives to reemerge. There was a progressive party in the southern, a progressive party and a Southern Democrat Party and a Federalist Party during antebellum, and there was progressives up until a certain point. Then it became the platform position that would be like sought after by the alienated wanting to become salienated. So like companies like Uncle Ben, Cracker Barrel, Uncle Ben, Star Wars Legacy, comics, like all this kind of stuff it's too nonconformist for National Socialism. They have to salienate. It's the opposite of alienation. I thought it had to do with becoming salty before. Like it was, I'm reading because I wrote this down. I was being retarded. It was in a documentary from like 30 years ago, but I didn't remember the spelling. I didn't know the spelling or the true definition of that word. Because in the dictionary, it's only as salient. The elongated words that we add suffixes to, they are kind of newer. So like it might not be there. You get spell checked for trying to create an elongated word, but at some point it becomes necessary because of the action of Nazis who are salienating themselves to reemerge as progressives in the West. They don't really waste all energy to change our mind. They're rather silent minds that works well enough for a season, then they get deposed and must salienate their platform position. Corporate autocracy is what it is. So like the Nazis rebrand as progressives and immediately try to start making the corporate head into the head of state. Corporate autocracy is fascism. They really lost the definition of that word on purpose because they're obfuscating the word fascism so that it can, when we see it, we won't be able to put a spotlight on them. That's how they move in darkness. They're moving in the dark. Right out in the open, because like they didn't change anybody's mind. They just put enough coercion in people that like to pressure, that they would pressure and it is causing like all this like, you know, family strife and division and stuff. Like, see what you're trying to do. You think that's going to work and everything. It doesn't matter. You can't argue somebody to be honest. You can't make somebody not a nihilist. You can't make sense to a nihilist. And they're even smart enough to understand what we know, and they're smart enough to understand things that we don't know. They can't, like they're smart. They're not stupid. It's stupid because they backed the wrong horse. You guys are gonna win for a season. You're gonna be deposed. You're gonna be alienated, and then you're gonna resalienate. And that is like a little. I don't want to say it's a cycle, but it's like a phenomenon, because there's other things that are cycles. The transhumanist cycling, but the Nazis are. It's like that's an attempt to try to make the corporate head also the head of state. They really don't want you to, like, they really just come up with all this other shit, and like that is not the definition. And like, I don't know if that's because you think you're being decent and you want to give people fair chances and all this kind of shit. Like, you can't change the definition of words hoping to give anybody a chance. That's not what it is. You're being coerced. You didn't even change your mind. They didn't even change your mind. They just silenced your mind. They just they subverted. And people are really upset to hear that they are subverted. They really don't like that. They have to do everything in the sense of its progress. That's why when somebody starts talking about like Have we forgotten that we have such a huge gun crisis in America? It's like, I just block them now. I'm not going to argue with you. At the same time that they're pushing mass migration and taking away guns, and like they're trying to alienate the white man, then fucking I like, you have to silence me. You can't change my mind. You know what I mean? It's not about changing your mind. It's about silencing you. That shit is not fucking decent, and it's not the way to go about it. It's just like gonna work for a season. It's gonna work for a short spell. That's in the Bible. Evil only works for a season, a spell.